And you're requesting retroactive child support for the last 4 years, correct?
Yes.
Was there a private agreement between you and the father regarding child support in 2023?
Yes, that was the reason why we went down there to the court and we made an agreement where he would pay $300 a month, but he's been inconsistent where why I am now requesting retro because I was, trying to be understanding to the.
And so he has paid some months of $300, and so we've calculated a total to be $12,025. Is that correct?
Correct.
And after calculating retroactive support for the last 4 years and giving him credit, the balance we came to was $35,159. Are you in agreement with that amount?
Yes.
So these parties are Jonathan McNeil and Carla Stovall. Do you both swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, Miss Clarity, you represent Mr. McNeil, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Stovall, how old is your child?
She's 18 now.
When is she expected to graduate?
On June 1st.
Like in the next month?
Yes.
Since the child is 18 and graduates next month, the only issue really left is retroactive child and medical support. We have talked to the parties regarding those issues today and are prepared to go forward.
The only thing we're going to consider is only the last 4 years. So anything before longer than the last 4 years, we're not counting. Whoever had the child 4 years ago, like the child's 17. So 13 years, we're not going to even talk about. We're only talking about just the last 4 years, approximately. That's the only thing we should discuss. We should have some idea on that. Ms. Nutt, are you ready to proceed, or are you wanting to send it back for negotiation?
I'm ready to proceed, Your Honor. I'll call the mother. Ma'am, will you state your name?
Carla Stovall.
And what's your child's name?
Neil.
And when born, did Mr. McNeil sign a document admitting he's the biological father?
Yes.
And in the last 4 years, who is your child living primarily with?
Me.
Has she ever spent the majority of her time living with Mr. McNeil?
No.
When you have enrolled her in school, specifically in the last 4 years, were you using your address or the father's address?
My address, the only time was this school year in the beginning, but changed. But the last 4 years is my address.
But this senior year, you enrolled her in school based on the father's address?
Yes, but she was living with me.
Objection, anything after yes.
What's your objection?
Non-responsive.
Overruled.
And Ms. Stovall, how come you decided to enroll her in a school in the father's district for her senior year?
Due to having to move with my granny and trying to be able to pay for her with no assistance for school, I did have to move with my granny. So we didn't have a consistent address when it was time for school to start. So he allowed her to be able to use his address, but still with me and my granny at the time for now.
And you're requesting retroactive child support for the last 4 years, correct?
Yes.
Was there a private agreement between you and the father regarding child support in 2023?
Yes, that was the reason why we went down there to the court and we made an agreement where he would pay $300 a month, but he's been inconsistent where why I am now requesting retro because I was, trying to be understanding to the agreement that he didn't continue doing.
And so he has paid some months of $300, and so we've calculated a total to be $12,025. Is that correct?
Correct.
And after calculating retroactive support for the last 4 years and giving him credit, the balance we came to was $35,159. Are you in agreement with that amount?
Yes.
And in the last 4 years, what kind of health insurance coverage has your child had?
She's have medical, dental, vision.
So the last 4 years, she's had private insurance. And you've been paying $357 per month for that coverage. Is that right?
Yes, for the medical, and then the 357 was just medical. It's $357.25 for medical and $56 and $4 for vision.
And you're requesting that the father pay you back for the 4 years that you've carried the private insurance?
Yes.
And so we've calculated a total for the medical support at $17,136. Are you in agreement with that amount?
Yes.
Is there anything else you want the court to know about the retroactive child and medical support issues?
Just not anything I can think of, but I do have my proof of what he's paid me and where she has lived. I do have a record of where her whereabouts, her living arrangement, and how much she's paid me and how much I've paid for insurance.
And just to confirm, in the last 4 years, your child, you're saying, lives primarily with you?
Yes.
That you and the father did
100%.
not do a 50-50 split at any point?
No, not at
Okay.
all.
I'll pass the witness.
Mr. McNeil, I need you to look in the camera while we're testifying, even if you're not testifying. Ms. Clarity, do you have questions? Go ahead and follow with questions of Mr. Stovall.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Stovall, you said there wasn't a 50-50 plan,
Right, yes.
but isn't it true that you all agreed he would pay $300 back in 2023? You agreed to
Yes.
that.
Mhm.
So, but now you're claiming that you want retroactive for 900 something. Is that
Yes.
correct? So you're reneging on your agreement.
Yes.
You said you have lived at different places because you had to live with your grandmother.
The last
Is that
couple months, yes. No, I've
Okay.
only lived in one place, and that's that address that you have where I moved with my grandmother. That only place.
And isn't it true during that Jay, the child was living with her father primarily because you didn't have a steady place?
No, not at all. She's been there 100%. She's never stepped foot to spend a night.
Father's residence is listed on her driver's license. Is that correct?
Her driver's license, I have a picture of it where I currently live now. It's never had his address on anything.
Is she registered to vote at your address? Or isn't it true she's registered
Yes.
to vote at her father's address?
She's registered to vote at my address because she did vote and she worked for the polls then. So it's my address because she got paid for it as well.
Objection non-responsive to what she got paid as hearsay. Non-responsive. And you're claiming that he should reimburse you the whole amount of $35,159 for retroactive, even though you all agreed to $300 back in 2023.
Yes.
I have no further questions.
The state calls the father. Sir, will you state your name?
Jonathan McNeil.
And Mr. McNeil, when your daughter was born, did you sign a document admitting to paternity?
Yes, I did.
And in the last 4 years, who has your daughter been primarily living with?
3 years with her mom and 1 year with me.
And when was that 1 year with you?
Began in July to Karen. July of 2024 to currently right now. We have documentation showing the school records with my address.
Does your daughter spend 50% of her time with you and 50% of her time with the mother?
I don't know how much time she spent with her mother. I don't stay with her mother. I don't know how much time she spent with her mother. I just know about me. She spent times with me when we communicate to spend time with each other due to my work schedule. That's when we see each other.
So how often on average per week would you say she sleeps over at your residence?
Maybe 2 or 3 times whenever she feels like coming over. And like I say, my daughter has a driver's license. She has her own vehicle, and I work, and I'm a truck driver. So when she comes to see me, we have never had no arrangements on the time that we spend.
In the last week, how many days did she come over?
I've seen her probably about 2 to 3 times. Like I said, she'll be here this evening.
And does she spend the night or does she just come over for a couple hours?
Yeah, she spends the night. She has her own bedroom here.
And then you and the mother had an agreement in 2023 where you paid her $300 a month.
Yes.
And we calculated that to give you credit for $12,025. Do you agree to that?
No, I don't, because it should be more than that.
How much more?
I don't know. I had to go back and look at bank statements and all kinds of things, but there's various things that I pay for my daughter. Like I pay her monthly phone bill every month that I haven't got credit for. That's $110 a month.
And so are you in agreement or disagreement with the $35,159 in retroactive child support?
Disagreement.
And do you think the retroactive child support should be zero, or do you think it should just be a lower amount?
It should be a lower amount. It should be. I mean, if we agreed to $300 a month from 2023, Ms. Stovall signs off on the document saying that she did not want no child support obligations in January of 2023. My attorney has the paperwork. So from January 2023 to now you got to give me credit also for the year that she's been staying with me, because I got proof that she's been staying with me, voter registration card registered to my address, school records registered to my address from August. So therefore, we talking about maybe a year that we're on the 300. Did I give her 300 from January 2023 to July of 2024? Yes, I did. And that was our agreement.
And do you understand that even if her voter registration card is at your address, that's not proof that she lives primarily with you?
There's no proof that she lives primarily anywhere.
Sir, you heard Ms. Stovall say she's requesting reimbursement for the private health insurance that she's paid the last 4 years, correct?
I already accepted an agreement. We had an agreement.
Objection non-responsive.
Sustained.
And sir, did you know Ms. Stovall was providing private health insurance these last 4 years?
She's always provided private insurance. The agreement was that I financially would help.
Objection, non-responsive.
Sustain.
You're asking me a question. You gonna allow me to answer?
I just needed you to answer yes or no if you've provided her any reimbursement for the medical insurance premiums.
That was not part of the agreement for
Objection,
me to reimburse.
non-responsive.
The yes or no question is what she's asking you, Mr. McNeil. So she wants your answer, but you're just trying to explain it. So either say yes or no to the question.
No.
And do you understand that this agreement you're referencing was never filed with the court and it's not a court order that is valid?
I don't need no court order.
I'll pass the witness.
Mr. McNeil, true, your daughter has already turned 18. Is that correct?
Yes.
And she graduates in a couple of weeks.
Yes.
And she's been living with you primarily this past year.
Yes.
And it is also true you and Miss Stovall had no agreement regarding any possession in the past 4 years other than the child support.
What you said?
Well, you didn't have any agreement regarding where she would live in the past 4 years. And so is it true that she stayed with you part-time in the past 4 years and stayed with her part-time?
Yes.
And is it true? The only thing you're admitting is that she's been paying the medical insurance. Is that correct?
Yes, that's what we agreed to.
And did she ever ask you or request or file anything asking you to pay her, reimburse her for that?
No.
Have you had any health insurance for your daughter in the past 4 years?
No.
Do you have it available to you?
Yes.
Now, you indicated you were not in agreement with the amount of the $35,059 that was calculated by the Attorney General's office, 983. That goes against what you had previously agreed to pay, $300 a month, beginning back in January 2023. Is that correct?
Yes.
So you would ask the court to honor that agreement?
Yes.
And calculate it based at that $300 per month up through the current time. Is that correct?
Not the current time. I would ask that it stop when the school records start showing that she's at my address this year.
So do you have an amount that you should have to pay, or that she should have to pay you for that matter, since there was no previous order?
Correct. Yes.
Is there anything else you want the court to know?
Yes,
What are the expenses you pay for your daughter?
Yes, I have documentation showing that I paid senior fees. I have paid driver license fees for my daughter to get her driver license. I have also paid for her to get a vehicle that she's currently transporting in right now. I have all the documentation that shows that I was the person. I transferred the title to the vehicle over to Miss Stovall.
With respect to the senior fees, the driver's license fees, and the vehicle, you have vehicle repairs, right?
Yes.
Any idea how much you paid for that?
Between $3,000 to $5,000. I know for sure.
And what about the senior fees?
That was $500. And I just gave money for prom. I give my daughter money, visually, cash money all the time. All the time.
And the driver's license fees.
I paid $500 for her to get a driver's license.
So we're going to calculate that about $5,000 that you paid solely on behalf of your daughter that you're asking credit for. Is that correct?
Yes.
Is there anything else?
No, I just took her to Grambling on a college tour, which the school she's planning to attend in August. I paid for that too.
And you'll be paying some college expense, even though that's not an issue for today.
He said no.
Objection to what Ms. Stovall said. She's not testifying, Your Honor.
Sustain. Mr. Owa, no one's asking any questions. Mr. McNeil is the one answering questions right now.
No, I said you plan to continue to support her for college. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
I have no further questions. Your Honor, I believe based on the evidence, first of all, this is a child who's already turned 18. There's been no orders in effect for the past 18 years. My client agreed to pay $300 a month. I think that agreement needs to be honored. To assess him $983 goes against what the testimony was and everything. $35,159 is not a fair and equitable amount for retroactive child support. Here at the nth hour, we have a motion that was filed just this past month. So, Your Honor, that's what we asked for. We asked you to deny the request for the $35,159 and make adjustments for the the retroactive health insurance. Thank you, Your Honor.
The easy one, of course, I'm not going to order child support for the future. So I'm not going to order child support for June 1st, since that'll be pretty much like 2-3 weeks from now. I doubt that y'all probably had legal counsel when y'all arranged the $300 payment, but it's something that y'all had set up under the circumstances of what both of your incomes were and what the expenses were. I usually try to honor those, especially if we're here on a first case. Like, this is the first time we've ever talked about child support. We haven't done any prior court orders. So for some reason, y'all agreed to $300. I guess in retrospect, probably should have been about $983, maybe, but that's the number y'all agreed to. I'm just going to say that as far as child support is concerned, Mr. McNeil does not owe any retroactive child support. So it'll be a zero balance for that. Now, medical, definitely there's medical due and owing that, obviously Mr. McNeil admitted he does not have the child on his insurance for health, dental, or vision. Ms. Stovall, you have. So I am entering a judgment for medical, since that was not part of this here, that arrangement of the $300. That was something additional. So I'm ordering a judgment for retroactive medical in the amount of $15,000 to be paid at $150 a month until paid in full. All right, that's my ruling. That'll be the order of the court.